You've tuned in to Elevating Voices, hosted by Tamiz Cross, Executive Director and co-founder of P30. This is the place where entrepreneurs and community leaders remove the titles, drop the masks, and share the unfiltered truths behind business, leadership, and impact. Here, we celebrate victories, learn from challenges, and amplify the voices that are shaping our communities. This is where real stories rise and voices are truly heard. We're back with part 2 of Justin Bland's Why. In this continuation of episode 3, Justin dives deeper, sharing more of the journey that has shaped his purpose and perspective. Let's pick up where we left off.
I remember an instance where I was literally, I think I was 2 days in bed and I hadn't eaten anything. And I just worked up the strength to eat. So I got up, and then when I got up, I read a message in one of our group chats of somebody basically saying like, you know, well, why was we preparing for this if this was going on? Why do we do this if this was going on? If you knew that this was happening, why would you? And it was just like, I just put the cover back over my head and went back to sleep because I was just like, I don't have the energy to try to fight this. I'm fighting, you know, my own battles in the midnight hours when it gets super duper dark and super duper heavy. I don't have the strength to do this. So, and I honestly, I won't try to like be even the victim of my own depression, because I truly feel like I went through that for not only myself but other people. Mm-hmm. I feel like I know for sure that God was showing me that there's going to be somebody who go through the exact same thing as you, who's not going to know how to express themselves, who's not going to know how to defend themselves, who's not going to know how to advocate for themselves. Mm-hmm. So go ahead and stop that prayer of, can you please make this stop?
Yeah.
And go through this, because I need you to experience this. Yeah. So when you speak on their behalf, and I told them that too, when y'all going through this, I'm not going to let nobody treat y'all how y'all treated me.
Yeah.
I'm never going to let that happen. Mm-hmm. God forbid that y'all ever have to go through it. But when you do, or you come to that crossroad, understand that I'm going to understand. Yeah. I'm not going to just like, I understand, but I'm going to be there for you.
Nah, literally, right. Yeah. I just had that experience myself, you know, and it just in my personal story, mental illness runs in my family. And I think that's why I clung to comedy so much coming up as a kid.
Right.
Martin is my guy.
Yeah, for sure.
Living Color, you know, Jamie Foxx, just so many comedians. I clung to that because laughing through hard situations really helped me. But then there's sometimes you just can't laugh. You just got to learn how to sit in it and not let it overtake you and take you out to where you don't want to be here. But you can learn how to feel it so that you can be present for another person. I think that's what's really powerful in what we're able to do, is that not only do we get to do what we're very gifted at doing, but we also can be transparent in the moments that our gifts doesn't even serve us.
For sure.
You know, we just got to sit in that powerless moment to know what it feels like. And then when you get to come out of it, now you got people all around you like, you know, a person don't understand this, or you might not understand that. And it's like, nah, I could identify with you because I was there X amount of months ago. Yeah. You know what I'm saying? So it's hard to sit in that because it is horrible. You want to think yourself out of it. You have so much power that you know you could tap into, but it still cripples you because it's like, dang, why? Yep. You know, you got to sit in the why and just investigate what happened, like what got me here. And it could be grief. Like you could realize that you suppressed grief and you ain't even get to deal with it, you know, and this is all through the entrepreneurial journey.
Facts.
Which is what makes our why even more important, you know. So thank you for sharing and just being transparent in that moment. Not glorifying it, but just being 100,
Absolutely.
You know, because this is something most people don't have candid conversation about.
Right.
And I remember you putting posts out like, this is how you're supposed to treat your friends.
Yeah.
And I felt like, dang, like for you to be in that moment and still tell people how to treat people, we need you. You know, like, and we also need you. Like I see a post where you like, why are y'all going on other people's posts and it's their opinion?
Yeah.
And you hopping on there ready to argue. Like,
ready
what is
fight.
wrong with you?
It is crazy.
And it's simple stuff because it's like, what is wrong with me? I hope somebody is saying that.
Facts. And even in those moments of uncertainty and you trying to speed up, and that's another thing, just you can't, no process, whether that's your building process of you building your business, whether that's you going through some type of grief, grief, you just can't rush that process.
Can't rush the process.
And people always say it, and I think a lot of times things just sound so trendy. We live in a day and age of trends.
Yeah.
So everything you say starts to sound like a trend. But you cannot rush the process, and everything is in God's timing. And I remember my buddy Poe at Cul-de-sac Kitchen, he said, bro, God's timing is stillness. And I was just like, man, what? He was like, God's timing is stillness. He was like, when he really want to get to you, he's not going to let you rush that process. He's not, like you said, you got to sit in it. You got to really soak in it, and you got to really, and not just to let it happen, but just to understand and get a better idea of what's going on and what it is that you're going through in that particular moment. And now that you even say that, I think one of the biggest things coming out of the pandemic, going into 2021, 22, and getting ready for those, seasons and stuff, I think I did suppress the fact that I lost a friend, and I've lost family members and stuff before, and I've lost people that were close to me, and even still, nothing hit me like when my friend Teddy passed. Like, nothing could have prepared me for that, nothing, because it was just like somebody who one person that you value and one person that you look at and be like, man, he's a real people person. He's a genuine soul. He's an old soul. And you just think people like that are supposed to live forever. And then you start to see that, no, life can happen at any particular moment, no matter if you plan for it, no matter if you prepare for it. And then even that, I think the sad part was just like, life can happen and you just got to deal with it, and you have to keep going. And a lot of times in that keep going, it just seems so selfish. It's just like, man, this is my dog.
Right, yeah.
So then people say, well, time is going to heal this. And I know a lot of people who lost children, who lost parents, who lost people who were just like connected to. And then people say time will heal. And somebody told me that, moving away from that particular moment of them passing, it causes more hurt, because it's like, I'm trying to let this memory of them go.
Yeah.
And I think in that particular case, it was just like, there was an incident that happened at the Mousetrap where they had a memorial for him. And I don't think I've ever talked about this publicly. And there is footage of it, which is crazy, but there's footage of it. But they had a memorial for him like the day after he passed at the Mousetrap. And they said they had good intentions. But just me being there from literally, I was probably one of the first people there before it started, and I was just sitting there because, I wanted to honor my friend. I wanted to, be present for him, and it just turned into something totally different. Like, it wasn't a memorial for him no more. It was just like, oh, the band is vibing out, let's just vibe. And it got to the point where I was like, okay, I've been here for 2 hours, and, they've only said his name once, whatever. So I was like, I'm about to leave, because now I'm starting to get that energy where I'm getting upset. And as a comedian or people, think you're a joker and stuff, people feel like you can't get mad or you don't have feelings, or it's just always going. But once I got to the parking lot and we were talking just, a couple of my friends and stuff, I remember I was talking to my buddy Fox, I was talking to Miles, Dead Silence, a couple of people who was out there, and I was just expressing how I don't feel like, this is
really honoring.
Yeah, this is not honoring him. So they was just like, man, if you say this, you say I'm gonna do this, and not just them per se, but most people in the parking lot. If you do this, you do that. I was like, I don't know, I don't need nobody to put the batteries in my back. If I'm gonna do something, I'm gonna do something. But before I left, I was like, you know what, I want to go speak to his family first, and then I did. So in speaking to his family, hugging them, I asked, his aunties, like, do y'all feel like is this cool with y'all? Y'all feel like? They were just like, we don't know what's going on. We don't know what this is about. He dropped the album last week. They're not even playing that. And it was just like so much where that energy was just like, Justin, like, you got to say something. So, of course, everybody in that spot is looking at you like Jay Bland Maitman, the host. So it was like at a very inconvenient time, I went up there and tapped the dude. Was like, hey, can I grab the mic? And they was just like, okay, yeah. And I'm sure they did not know that. I didn't even know that what was about to come out was about to come out. Because it started off as me just going up there to say, hey, we ain't heard his name in this room. I want to shout out to my boy, Teddy. We want to. It started out as that. And then I felt like when somebody said, I think it was a particular time where I was just like, the band sound good. The band, y'all doing y'all thing. However, I think it's very tasteless for y'all to use his name to bring people out just to hear y'all vibe out. And then when somebody said, are you serious? I think somebody on the drums or something. Are you serious? And I just remember turning around saying, like, yeah, nigga. Like, yeah, I'm serious. And when I turned back around, it's like, I felt like I had an outer body experience. I felt like I was watching myself on stage because I spazzed out. Like I just started, it's like a rant. Like I just went in. And it's crazy. Like a couple years ago, somebody sent me that footage, and I immediately deleted it because it took me back to that space. Yeah. But yeah, the reason why I think I suppressed it is because when I got in the parking lot, I bawled my eyes out, because I felt like I had did wrong. Mm-hmm. I felt like, I wasn't going there to interrupt anything. I wasn't going there to like cause no disruptions, and I felt like I did wrong. Mm-hmm. So in that moment, I felt so little. But, if you had friends saying like you was out of pocket, you had friends saying you was right for stepping up, and I just felt like this big. And I never forget, his auntie came out there and she said, he's looking down on you, he's proud.
Wow.
What you just did, he's proud.
Wow.
And the reason why I was so conflicted, because I know that there's people in the venue that was much closer, and I kept on thinking like, Lord, why me? Like, why did I have to be the one to go do that? And then talking to more of the people who were closer to him, it's like, bro, it had to be you, because coming from anybody else, it could have went totally left.
Yeah.
So I was, even in that moment, I was appreciative of people's grace and mercy, because they know I'm not that type of person, but they gave me enough grace to say like, he's hurting like everybody else. So yeah, and I think from there, I just dealt with, for the longest, I was just dealing with still having that in my mind of like, dang, that should have been somebody else. That should have been somebody else. That should have been somebody else. But then still having that counter of, nah, it had to be you.
Yeah.
So.
Well, you became very versatile along the way,
Mm-hmm.
Hearing your story, just how you started, how you transitioned, you started this show. You're now like in your own way, without even it being proclaimed, from what I'm hearing, is that you're being a voice to people who can't speak, or who are unable to really share. So you're finding your way in that. I can't wait to see what happens with that, because I'm like, man, shoot, is motivational speaking about to be on your belt other than hosting? Are you about to just drop some knowledge on people? Man. Like, this is how you should treat people, like for real, it's amazing. I don't even mean to say it funny, but it's not that many people that's just being straight real and authentic when it comes to, this is how I need to be handled, or this is how people need to be handled, or this is a space that need to be created for our people.
Absolutely.
And for the age group that you're your target audience. Right. Like you create a whole vibe, right? And then you lightly mentioned All-Star, but that was a big thing. Like, you were the curator, right, of the entertainment for All-Star.
Yeah.
Crazy. Right after that.
Right.
So literally. Talk about going through adversity to get you to a place where you freaking hosting entertainment for a national event.
Right.
What?
So literally coming out of that, I'm talking about, it was literally like not even fully out the depression yet, but I seen that it was the thing to say, all right, you better hold on to that, because that's gonna pull you out this depression the rest of the way. So once again, shout out to Gang Gang. I got that call from them, and I honestly thought it was so let me say this. A lot of time people see me, and I always look at people like, I wonder how they view me.
Yeah.
Because I don't view me the same way. Like when people say, bro, you did this, man, da-da-da. And in my head, I'm thinking like, dang, that's what I'm supposed to do. So it don't really feel good cheering for it. Like I feel like I'm called to do this. I'm called to bring light to people's darkness. I'm called to make people laugh. So when I get kudos and stuff for it, I'm appreciative, but it just feels like something that I'm supposed to do. So when I get into these big spaces and these big rooms, especially when I got the email and it says, Indiana Pacers Corp and NBA All-Star, and got the official logos and stuff, I'm thinking like, they sent this to the wrong person.
Nah, it's you.
And I'm literally thinking like that. When I got into these rooms and I get there, I'm like, I'm not supposed to be here.
Oh, they already know you about to
I'm
deliver.
not supposed to be here. And I was just thinking like, just having that, what's it called? Imposter syndrome?
Yeah.
Yeah, that's a real thing. And I didn't think that I would ever have it, but you start getting into these rooms with these big wigs and things like that. And shout out to everybody at Gang Gang, because if it's one thing that they're going to do is they're going to make sure you know why you're there.
Yeah.
If you got any ounce of imposter syndrome, excuse me, they're going to let you know, like, this is why we picked you. This is why you're here. This is what you've done. I don't know why you're going through this right now, but this is what you've done, and this is what we need you to do.
And you deserve it.
And you deserve it. Mm-hmm. And not only that, you're on the clock.
Okay.
So let's get it. Let's get to it. So so when they hit me up, and I really didn't really have an idea of what it was that they were asking of me, because if you were part of the All-Star committee, you know that there was several, I think it's about 24 different groups, and I just so happened to be a part of the Arts and Cultural Committee. So even within that, I'm one of those people who I'm sitting around and trying to soak up everything before I start asking questions, because you might answer before I ask it. So I'm just sitting. And there was so many meetings that I went to that I was just like, I just felt like a person would have passed because I was just like, I still don't know.
Yeah.
And then when they had within our group, I'll say it's probably like maybe like 20 something people. And then they did like a breakout group from that group saying like, y'all gonna be the ones that's curating these events. And I was just looking like, even when we did the breakout group, I'm looking like, dang, y'all about to do a rendition of Butter. Y'all about and Oreo Jones. Y'all about to do a rendition of Treese. Mm-hmm. And I was like, so what does that leave? And it was like, you about to do some form of made man comedy. These are the 3 spots that you gonna do. These are the 2 right here in the heart of downtown. Boy. And that was just like, it didn't. And honestly, the when the opportunity came, it didn't hit me. And then I remember talking to B Swift, and he was looking at me like, yeah, bro, we here. Mm-hmm. We in the room. Welcome. And I was just like, man, what? I'm here with the B Swifts. I'm here with the Gangs. I'm here with, all the Ebony Armstrong, like all these people that I admire, and I look and see them, the movers and the shakers in the city. And I was just like, am I one of them?
Yeah.
Am I one of them too? So once it came down, it was like once that bubble gets popped and you like, all right, now it's time to work. It was just a beautiful learning process. I had Nigel there from Gang Gang to guide me through. He was very instrumental. Ben from Gang Gang, Simone from Gang Gang. I think those were the 3 people who made sure that, I had all the resources I need. I had all the questions I needed answered. And it was it was definitely my first time curating something for someone else outside of the Made Man show. Mm-hmm. So now they was like, Justin, you booking all your acts, you doing all this, da-da-da. So I'm thinking like, I don't know. Here's your budget, this many thousands of dollars. I'm like, they was like, probably gonna send that to your account so you can pay. I was like, don't send it to my account.
Right. Yeah.
Don't send that to my account. Yeah, don't do that. Don't do that. We gotta make sure everybody get paid. I got other stuff. Yeah, don't send that to my account. But just having that responsibility, just being able to freely create, and not only that, but actually being able just to sit in the product, like when All Star was going on, and seeing all these people coming in and out of different races and different ethnicities and just different everything. Like even it snowed, and it was just like, dang, it's snowing on Friday. Yeah. It was snowing like a snow globe.
No, for real.
And then you start thinking like, man, this experience is gonna get dampered because of this. And then you got people coming from Africa that's coming in and say, we've never seen snow ever. And it's like, dang, like this is crazy. Cool. So just making those connections and just really just seeing the excitement. And the city was just so beautiful that weekend. I mean, we come from a beautiful city, but just to see people doubting us on social media, from locals to celebrities, like, oh, this is about to be a snooze fest. Oh, nap time, we're finna go to sleep, blah blah blah, and just seeing all of that, and then seeing the city deliver to one of the highest grossing NBA All-Star weekends, to now bringing WrestleMania and stuff here, and that's grossing and all that stuff. And it's just like to know that even if it's like a little piece of the puzzle that I played a role in that, and I had a hand in that, that's special.
That's what's up.
That's special.
That's what's up. That's huge. That's huge. You did that. I remember in your show, you featured a comedian. I'm like, I forget the young lady's name.
Asia Chardonnay?
Yeah. You featured her. So like, you're so humble in your approach in every single way.
Sidebar, Asia Chardonnay.
Okay.
Top tier. Top tier. When I watch people in the city and I see people do stand up and I see people, because like you said, you talking about Jamie Foxx and Martin. Yeah. We grew up watching them do sets and do sets there. They had a lot of quotables. You watch Asia Chardonnay and you look at the idea and the epitome of a comedian, a stand up comedian in the city. It's just like, no, she has the it factor. Yeah. So having her open up in she was the very first comedian open up at a Made Man show. And then when she came, when I had her come for All-Star Weekend, oh my God, Asia. I'm talking about, she had that place going crazy. And it was just like, dang, you made me look good. Yeah. Like, dang, you made me look good. Like curating this and people saying like, who is she? Where is she from? She's from here. She's from our own backyard. And they just like she put on for the city. So shout out to Asia.
Yeah. You did the Indiana Black Expo
for
event. Sure. You did it for the young people. That opened the door for you to teach young people. So now you're a teacher. Yep. You're Mr. Bland. Mr. Bland, the Made Man. Is that what they call you?
JB.
Okay.
They said, as soon as they said Mr., I was like, ooh. I already got the gray hair coming in. And even the beautiful thing about that, so.
Are you Unc status?
Unfortunately, I was cool at first, and they was like, "Oh yeah, JB, da da da,"
Yeah.
and then I took the hat off a little. They said he got a bald head. They said, "Oh, he unk." Nah, but even like
Uncle
the beautiful,
JB.
even the beautiful thing about that. So a lot of people don't know this, but I'm not the teacher anymore for Expo.
Okay.
So I did one cohort, and then they brought somebody in who has definitely had he got a beautiful structure in which he wants to grow PAA, Performing Arts Academy, and I support it 100%. And once they start talking about the direction they're going in, it was no bad fallout. It was nothing like that. I still work with Indiana Black Expo. We still doing the show. But when they start talking about going to more of a theatrical background and doing monologues and things like that, I think it's important to know what you can and can't do.
Now, can you say that again?
I think it's important to know what you can and can't do.
Seriously.
And I'm not saying that, Justin, you never say can't. I just feel like in that time, I feel like there were better people, better candidates who would better suit those children than me. So I had to make it.
So it's a difference between being an imposter and struggling with imposter syndrome.
Yeah, for sure. Absolutely. So I had to make a decision.
Seriously.
And I'm grateful to God that I was able to submit 3 names, and they picked they selected one of those people who's also in Made Man Improv. So Jasmine Elizabeth is
her.
Jasmine Elizabeth. Shout out to Jasmine. She is the new teacher for
that's amazing.
yeah. So I was honestly I was happy for her, and I was just honored that they respected my decision enough not only to part ways, but to say I got 3 people who are dope.
Yeah.
And for them to actually pick and run with one of them.
That's what's
and
up.
I think they did a wonderful job of selecting Jasmine. I think the kids are going to love her. And and we're still able to do the show for Expo.
Okay.
So, yeah, it's a beautiful thing.
So you relaunched, you had the preseason.
Yep.
How did that go?
The preseason, I'm not going to hold you.
You rebranded, right? Or not rebrand, but like you have a different team now. It's not the same team as before or the same format.
Right. So basically, excuse me, in the preseason, it's more like whose line is it anyway?
Okay.
And I know you're familiar with that. A lot of people, when they come to the show, excuse me, I'm sorry. A lot of people, when they come to the show, they think like wilding out. You got 2 teams going head to head. You got me hosting. It's a musical transition, comical transitions, a lot of that within the show. But at the preseason, it's an opportunity for us. I told them it's like rehearsal on steroids.
Okay.
So you come in at rehearsal, it's so raw, so funny, everything is just right then and there. And, you get some of the best laughs in rehearsal. I told somebody, I said, we could sell tickets to rehearsal because it's just that raw and that funny. I wanted to keep that same element without having to put the pressure on them as far as teams and saying, are you the team captain? This is your team. Y'all got to do this. It's like if we just keep our core, and every year I have a different core, basically, or every year I have a core group, and then as the year goes on, we start adding people to that core to basically make 5-on-5 teams, whatever. So the preseason is just for the core. It's for us to strengthen our weaknesses. And if somebody usually don't play this game, are you going to play it here at the preseason? If somebody's not good at this, well, I'm throwing you in it on the preseason. And it's like, whose line is anyway? I'm just saying, all right, this game is for Jasmine, Marcus, Gerald, and Kelly. And then they go up there and they do their thing. And it's just, and when I say it's so laid back and lax, and some stuff don't work, okay, I'll jot that down. Some stuff that's good, I say, oh, this can make it better, because I'm just watching at that point. And it's just so raw and unfiltered and hilarious that even this last one, you have people are used to Marcus just clowning. People are used to Gerald just clowning, Kelly clowning, Sid have her big moments. A lot of people wasn't used to Jasmine being that one that would push the funny.
That's driving it, yeah.
This last show, MVP.
Okay.
Jasmine, when I tell you, I was like, Jasmine, she don't usually play this game, so we throwing her in this. She go out there, she do shopkeeper, knock it out the park.
Oh, wow.
She jump out there, we do sound effects with the crowd. Her and Marcus jump in it. She knocks out the park. I'm really thinking now, like every game that she was in was just like, oh no, she stepped up to the plate. And that's what preseason is for.
That's amazing.
For the people in the audience that get on stage with us. We had a couple times where it's like, all right, this game is for Marcus, Gerald, and 2 people from the crowd. And they enjoy that as well, because it's like usually the volunteer games are just like me from the crowd going to get somebody else from the crowd. But now they get to be a part of it and be on stage and jump into it with the actual cast members. It was hilarious, to the point where it's just like, no, we got to have another preseason show before we debut the new season. So that's definitely coming.
So when you taking Made Man on the road?
I'm trying. I'm actively trying. I'm actively trying it. Listen, colleges, the Made Man Improv Show, we trying to come to your campus. So I'm actively, even high schools, and Christmas
you have
Addicts.
like a package set up for people to know?
Yeah, and we're gonna get that situated as well. We definitely have to update it. Christmas Addicts, we still coming to y'all. Don't worry about it. We still coming, but yeah, we're gonna do a couple high schools here in the city. But our main goal is to take it on the road, not even just to colleges, but just to different circuits in different cities in the state, and take it out of the state. So yeah, we got some big plans, and like I said, this is not one of those things where it just happens. We definitely need. When I say help, I'm not even just talking about like finance and all that stuff. We just need connections. We just need, if you know somebody who's plugged in at a university, connect me. If you know somebody who's plugged in at a venue in your city, and you know that y'all can bring out a crowd, let's make it happen. So,
okay. That's good to know.
Absolutely.
I hope you all are listening in.
Absolutely.
So that we can just continue to see his work expand, because Justin, you really are amazing, inside and out, and all the things that you have in store. Do you have a 5-year goal? Like, do you have something that you're looking forward to within the next 5 years?
I think after the 5 years we just had, my goal is to still be making an impact, still be, like I said, just like a beacon of hope. When people give me those type of testimonies and say, this is what you've done for me in my personal life, and not just like, you made us laugh, but you gave me hope. I didn't start my own business. I didn't, we just had somebody from, we just had Misha Hayes from Girl Gang Indie. I think it was a nice amount of them at the last show, and we gave them an opportunity to speak at the show, and it was just humbling to hear her say, it's a full circle moment being able to speak at a Made Man show, because I started Girl Gang Indie because of coming to the Made Man shows, and just different testimonies like that. I hope to still have an impact, and it's not about recognition. I know people tired of me saying this. It's not about awards. I would rather y'all not nominate me for no award. I'm not dissing anybody, but I would rather y'all not nominate me for different awards here in the city, because I think a lot of people just get caught up in those things. But I'm truly doing this because this is my purpose. This is what. When I say this is what I live off of, I'm not talking about financially. Yes, this pays my bills, but I'm talking about this gives me life. So that's one of the biggest things. I don't do it for clout. I'm just grateful to be in this position, to be able to just have an impact on the city and something that people love. One of the goals in those 5 years is I got to get my own theater.
Okay.
Yeah, it's very important. Not just to say it's my own, but in the Black community, we need more people with their own.
Right.
Because I know a lot of times me getting in the door don't necessarily mean that the next person gets to come in. Because I've been in situations where it's just like, oh, we got this date open, and this date open. And I'm like, all right, cool. Because I have somebody who want to come. They're like, oh, no.
Yeah.
We're just talking about you. We're just dealing with you.
Yeah.
So it's just like, I want to be able to have my own, to, be on my own time, and also be able to open up that door for people who, started out just like me, or people who just need that space.
Yeah. Well, that's amazing. How can people follow you on social media?
Social media, whether it's Facebook or Instagram, Jay Bland, Made Man, official Made Man Improv Show on IG. Still working on the website. I hope to have that soon. But yeah, I'm very active on social media. So if you're one of them people who think that, oh, he Hollywood, he not gonna hit, no, that's not me. You're gonna hit me up. You're gonna ask about the show. I'm gonna make sure you feel comfortable. I'm gonna make sure that you feel seen. I'm gonna make sure that you feel loved. And yeah, we're gonna have a good time. If you don't know about the Made Man Improv Show, I invite you to come to it. Get you a good laugh. Take a break from the everyday struggles of life, and just come out and just have a good laugh, and be around the culture, be around a loving environment. So yeah.
Yeah, I would say the same thing.
Yeah.
Please check him out. Follow him. You can purchase tickets, group tickets. You can even donate tickets. And I would say, if there's someone that needs to have a good laugh and get out, explore a new network of people and just be around a lot of fun people that love good music, because he got a banging DJ, right? And his team, just everyone, it's just a welcoming environment. It's almost like a big old family reunion.
I love when people say that.
Yeah,
I love it.
If it's like poetic justice, you can be like Tupac and just holler at somebody. Be like, cousin B. And yeah, thanks, Justin. Absolutely. I had a great time talking to you, learning more about your story. And until next time.
Thanks for listening to Elevating Voices. This podcast is hosted by Tamiz Cross of P30 and produced and directed by Aaron Parker of Creativity Productions. To learn more about how to get involved or become part of P30's community, visit us at the corner of Post and 30th in Indianapolis or online at p30indy.com. Until next time, keep your voice strong and your story alive.